Well, hello there. My name is Taryn Daly for RadioDotCom, and I'm so excited to be joined by two of my most favorite young musicians, Josh and Sam from Greta Van Fleet. You guys are just such a treat to see over Zoom today. And it's just lovely to see your smiling faces. So thanks so much for making time to do a check-in with us today to talk all things Greta Van Fleet. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. We're just holding up here, aren't we, Sam?
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah, we're trying to stay warm.
Cheers.
Here, you know.
Are you guys having champagne?
It's actually isopropyl.
Well, and actually, since the last time I saw you guys in concert, everybody in the band is now 21.
That's right.
Which is kind of a big deal, because I'm sure none of you had anything to do with alcohol before you were 21. But now that you're all 21, you know, cheers to that. Celebrations. And you guys, this is a big year for Greta Van Fleet because we were hoping for new music from you guys, and then all of a sudden you slapped us with My Way Soon. And one of the coolest things that I learned was in watching the music video, you guys actually edited, directed, and shot that all yourselves. Did that have to do with pandemic life, or did you guys decide to do that on a whim anyway?
That was a natural inclination.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just for two main reasons, and they're kind of the same reason. And the first being we are extreme control freaks, and everything has to be the exact way that we want it to be. So
it's just not right.
If we didn't have our hands on it, we're able to actually spread, scenes and close them and time stuff. And
we've had other people edit stuff, and it's like, no, if you just, it's like that kind of thing. So that was one thing. And there was always a natural inclination to pick up a camera. That was the thing. We were always, our grandparents, all both sides, we had so many cameras that we would play with, and we make these little shows, these sketch comedy bits and things, and we kind of put it together, and then we're talking like VHS,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right. So yeah, but film and movie making have always been something that we've been interested in. So that was just, we started toying with these Super 8s, and it was like, yeah, okay, this is cool. We can do something with this. And then the song came about, and we thought, oh yeah, that would be perfect for all of that material. And it
was perfect, and we loved it. I mean, that was something that everybody just sank their teeth into, and was so excited for something new from Greta Van Fleet. And then shortly after, we learned that you guys have a new album coming to us in the new year called The Battle at Garden's Gate, available April 16th. Can you give us any other maybe small tidbits? Maybe tell us how many tracks are going to be on this new album.
No.
Actually, I think there's plenty that we can disclose. But where do we start?
So let's start with the track list. Let me
Yes. Will you guys be doing more self-shot videos for, additional, tracks that you'll be releasing off this album, do you think? Is that a direction you want to continue to go, or are you going to let other people do some creative work for you as well?
Well, with the given situation, we're able to get our hands on the making of these things more directly, and that was just it. In the past, we've been so busy with touring and trying to fit in recording inside of that, and then trying to have some space to breathe. So it was just we kind of had to trust other people, and we would send treatments, and we would kind of go, well, this is what we want to do, and then so now it's like there's more time and we to do some of the filmmaking aspects of these videos. So we do want to do more of that. And I think you'll see more of that.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it too is kind of reinventing the way that people think about the music video. Because a lot of the time people just put out a music video like somebody chained them up and made them do it. So I think it's an incredible thing, a visual representation of the world that the song lives in, and giving that a completely new life, not new life, but expanding its consciousness, giving it a whole little space in the universe.
And we wanted to create a cinematic album, and it's like, well, what movie would this album score? Well, we would score The Battle at Garden's Gate. And it was like, okay, well, maybe we need to delve into some of the cinematic aspects of this album visually. And so that's kind of what we've started to do.
Well, good for you guys, and congratulations on taking that step in your careers, because not everybody is willing to commit that to the craft. So congratulations on achieving that already, and we look forward to seeing more. I know that you guys have said, especially with this album and what has gone on in your lives in the last 3 years, that you guys have grown more in 3, 4, 5 years than most people do in an entire lifetime. And you guys went from playing, small venues in your backyard to, traveling all over the world. How is it to process that as, 21, 24-year-old men? How do you process that kind of growth?
I'll get back to you on that.
Not well. Not
No.
And obviously 2020, we've been doing a lot of sitting around, not doing much, and I'm not sure exactly the timeline of this new album, but when did you guys start working on this album, and when did like the shutdown come into play, and how did that kind of change the course of what you guys were working on?
So the album is a bit of an amalgamation of things, older songs and completely fresh new songs. And as was the previous album, and I think that's because we're constantly writing, and sometimes you pull something off of the shelf, dust it off, and go, okay, yeah, this is good, let's reevaluate. And sometimes you're really just kind of writing in the studio, and something comes up, and it's that would be a great track for this album. And so that's kind of what this was. But we started recording summer of 2019, fitting in recording around touring, which is totally normal for us. And then all of a sudden we have most of the album done, and then of course we come into this pandemic phase, and so then it was a matter of actually just getting to record the last 2 tracks somehow within this scenario. And so it was like we managed to do it. It was like, okay, we have to be safe about it. And I think it's sort of, so we just
some
recently
time.
did that.
Yeah, we had time to reassess what world the album is, and how it lives, and all these different spots.
Yeah.
And we were able to take a step back from that for a while, and we went in and recorded 2 new songs that we felt captured the aesthetic of the album, and also goes places that the album doesn't go in some cases. And
for sure.
Got rid of some of the other songs that
we tried to make a really dynamic album. We wanted every song to be its own mythology and stand out on its own, and so that is, as far as overall feel is concerned, amongst the 2 songs that have been released, we kind of feel that Age of Machine is a little closer to the sonic aesthetic. But again, it's really, I think, fairly dynamic.
Well, we're really excited to hear what comes next, because everything we've been treated to so far this year has been so incredible. One question that I have for you guys, especially being that you are, a bit of a family band of sorts. You guys obviously grew up playing music around your parents. I don't know if it was in the basement or in the garage, but obviously now the way that things are today, what cool thing have you been able to do for your parents as almost like a, hey, thank you for putting up with us, this entire time and listening to all of the music and driving us to gigs and all of that? What's been the coolest thing you were able to do for mom and dad?
Gosh, I think treat them to the most wonderful life that they deserve.
Well, we can, it's just that constant thing when you were growing up. They're adventurers. That's what they do. And at some point, it's like, okay, we have kids. We've got to, figure this out. And so now it's kind of, after all of this time, we're able to go all of us adventure together and do all kinds of really strange, interesting, fun things, and that has been amazing.
So now we have other places to play music in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be the basement or the garage. So obviously we're kind of in this crazy quarantine holiday time. I'm just wondering, are you guys on the naughty list or the nice list this year?
Probably a little bit of both because of our vices.
It would be vain, for us to give you an answer.
We all have vices, I think we just have to pick which ones we really commit to.
Yes, that's true.
I saw a t-shirt that I think you guys will like. It said, drink like it's 2020. And I think for a lot of us, we've just been drinking like it's 2020 for all of 2020. Which of you, now that everybody has turned 21, which of you had the craziest 21st birthday party?
Well, I guess hindsight is 2020, right?
Nice.
I don't know. You guys did it, Nashville.
Yeah. I don't remember any of it.
Well, that's definitely pretty good.
I don't know. Was it? I don't know. I can't remember.
I think for Daniel and I, we were on tour, so we got to celebrate those kind of around shows. I was in South America. We were in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil,
right.
which was a great place to.
Yeah.
Great place
to sweat out your hangover or whatever. Yeah. Also with being, siblings in bands, siblings in bands are kind of notorious for sometimes having these like epic battles and things like that. But you guys seem to be pretty fond of each other. That being said, what's like the silliest, most ridiculous thing that set off some sort of a brotherly fight in the band?
Oh my gosh, where do we start?
There's a whole novel written about that alone. No, don't believe how we come across to you. We're really terrible people, and we constantly suing each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, I remember this one time we were on tour.
Round stage. Round.
Yeah, I think where it all happens is the creative side. I think that's where it really gets rough. Or when I remember one time I smashed a ukulele over Jake's head.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But that was
I remember taking out a window once. That was good. And a television. Like,
oh my God.
Which is weird because you always hear about that, in music culture, and you're like, oh my God, they're really just smashing all this stuff. It's like, yeah, I get it.
It must have been an accident.
The stakes are high. There's a lot going on. You're creative. You're frustrated. Yeah. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, things get a little tense. Things get a little crazy. Who of the three brothers would you say is the most sensitive?
Daniel's a brother. I would say Daniel's very sensitive.
We can count him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say.
I think we're all actually very sensitive souls in some way or another.
Artistic sort of personalities seem to be that way, right? It's a little bit of
I agree.
I
sensitivity.
think so. We'll never tell you that, but
right. No, we would never tell you that, just like we did just now.
It's just a secret. It's just between us, of course. Oh my goodness. So since again we're in the holidays, would there ever be a Greta Van Fleet holiday album? Would you guys ever throw down a totally kick-ass rock and roll version of a holiday classic?
Christmas.
That was a great track. That's a great track.
Maybe there's like a lot of really cool. James Brown did some good Christmas.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and that was amazing. There's some good Christmas like soul funk stuff. Maybe if it was in that vein, I don't know. I guess we couldn't really say. There's other things I think we probably want to get to first.
That's the problem.
Yeah. Just put it on the back burner. Just listen, something for the future, maybe, when you run out of other things to do, which I'm sure will be never. But on the lines of, James Brown, funk, soul, who is maybe one of your biggest non-rock influences? Somebody that's doesn't necessarily fall under the umbrella of rock.
I don't know. Aretha Franklin might not fall under the umbrella of rock. I think she's one of the greatest rock and roll singers of all time. So that I would think would be my pick for sure.
I actually think that she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame like in the second class and was the first female. So I'm with you. I think you nailed it.
Rock and roll.
Amazing.
I think a lot of the folk artists as well is like Joan Baez, I think.
Definitely.
Just reinventing those old folk classics and
even like Miriam Makeba, who's like Mother Africa. There's just really amazing music, and she brought a lot of that to America. It's really good stuff. Geez, I don't know. There's so many. It's like all of a sudden the brain kind of goes, what synapses is going on, and I had that, probably kind of hardly blow the electric on the computer.
Well, so far, I mean, we are very much looking forward to the new album. The Battle at Gardens Gate is going to be available on April 16th. We have My Way Soon. We have Age of Machine. I know you probably can't give too many other spoilers, but what can we look forward to next? Can you tease us a little bit and give us a small tidbit as a holiday gift?
I think it's what's coming next is something that is much more in the realm of hope. I think it's something that we can all relate to, and it's perhaps something that we all need right now. And I think we've really been kind of trying to plan this out in a way that we can reintroduce what we are and how we've changed in the past year or so. And
ironically, that would be probably the oldest song on the album.
Yes,
as far as the writing of the piece is concerned. So that there's something to be considered. Yeah,
I'm sure there's some old bootleg recordings of the song, not in the way that it is now, but there are definitely some bootlegs around from years ago.
Well, one of the things I think is so great about what you guys do is that your sound, your music, it just transcends generations. The times I've seen you guys in concert, there's, young kids there with their parents. There's groups of dads. There's groups of kids. Like, you guys really appeal to such a wide variety of people. And I don't know a lot of bands that can do that, or that are doing that in, the current day. So I just wanted to say congratulations on just bringing people together the way that I think a lot of us haven't seen in a very long time. That's a pretty cool achievement. So my hat's off to you.
Thank you.
Thank you infinitely.
Very much.
Yeah. Well, thank you again so much, Josh and Sam, for being a part of this Radio.com check-in. We are just honored to get to chat with you today and cannot wait to hear the full album, The Battle at Gardens Gate. What we've heard so far is just magnificent, and we look forward to the next step in your career. And hope you guys have a great rest of the holiday season. And here's to a totally badass 2021.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Yeah, these are empty right now, but imagine
cheers. I'm empty too, but maybe we'll have to share a beer together next time we're together in person.
I think a wonderful plan. I'd say it's a date.
Right on, gentlemen. Well, you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Awesome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Wow.